All right, what's up, everyone? Today's Friday, August 25th, 2017, and let's talk about a couple trades. First of all, I wanna give a little background of what's going on. Houston, we're about to get hit by a hurricane. I was out on the East Coast, and I did a last-minute fly last night. I didn't really get my rest. I was rushing around, putting gas, and doing all kinds of stuff, but given that I have love for the market, I ended up still trading. And I made my watch list almost last minute. And literally, it was about 5 minutes right before the market opens when I wrapped it up. So, what does it have to do with trading? Well, the thing is that I think I've gotten to the point that I know myself enough that in situations like this is when I rush through trades, I don't really focus, I try to force trades, blah blah blah, things like that. So it got to a point that I understand myself now. So retail seems to be on the watch list and to be pushing a lot. And I ended up going, GME, which is GameStop. I ended up putting this on the watch list because I think if you look at the daily chart, it was pretty much breaking the $20 mark plus a lot of support, and it didn't really have any other support between 1884 and 1893, I believe. I forget the exact numbers, but so I ended up going short at 1929. I was anticipating this to at least push a little bit higher and then short it around the 2050. That would give me a better risk reward. It didn't do that, so I ended up dropping, and then it made this bear flag pattern. One of my favorite patterns, which is a bear flag. It drops and then it comes back to VWAP, and I ended up shorting there at 937. I guess it was around this area instead. Right when I was coming to VWAP, so I shorted and I cover at 1891 right after I make this bounce. And the only reason that I'm getting these type of covers and exits is because I'm looking at the time and sales. And I only apply my time and sales when I'm doing my exits. And something I need to start doing is my entrance too, because I made a mistake of actually covering my full size position. So I was up very nicely here. I ended up going back in here at $19 because I thought it was going to continue lower. Obviously, it was now by looking at it, it was a bad play because it didn't really show weakness at the VWAP. Plus, my dropping dimes was about to cross to the top side, so I ended up going short. It pushed against me. I was gonna use my stop was right above VWAP, but at the same time, I need a candle to really hold up there, and it didn't do that. He made a doji candle, didn't push lower, so I ended up adding more here. Um, Push lower, and by this time, I ended up covering my full size position because I just was not feeling the market today. And I think Mrs. K mentioned something about Mrs. Yellen talking today, so that just goes to show that I wasn't prepared for today. Um, I mean, overall, I ended up as like a scratch day, so I'm happy with that. A&F, I ended up taking this one. I was already, I kind of right away when I ended up shorting here. I was not following my plan. My plan was to pop to the $12 area with room to 1234 for a golden ratio. Um, and plus, you gap fill. You got a gap fill on the daily chart. Zooming out on the daily chart, you got a gap fill here, and plus your golden ratio. So it's a high probability trade. The only problem was that I ended up going in very, very early. I sized in very small, so I went in at 11:58. But once I noticed that it was not breaking the VWAP, plus it looked way too strong, and then you got all this, this wick showing you that all the buyers are down here, just soaked it up. I ended up just covering right away. I was like, I'll just get it when it gets around my $12 area where I was anticipating shorting. So I came in again at 12:05 here. I ended up shorting. I was supposed to add a small size position. By accident on the level 2, I clicked the full size position. I ended up going huge, and it was by accident. So I didn't realize that until it started just trending lower because I was thinking of adding more here, but then I realized that I was already completely full size position. So I ended up covering when it came and retested the 10 EMA because if you look at the time in sales, it just didn't do what I was expecting. Things like this, I expected to flush right away, but once I saw a bunch of buyers coming in, I was like, time to get out. So I got out. As you can see, I got out at 12:02 and 12:04. So I took like a 3 penny win. It is what it is. I took my win, so I guess I pretty much got back all my losses from here. I made it back here. It was a misplay, and again, it just it goes to show that I was not feeling the market today, and I just wasn't ready. And there's no reason for me to push. ELF, I ended up chasing because Ulta was on my watch list, and I was even telling some of the guys, watch Ulta, because this thing is just on a complete downtrend if you're looking at the daily chart. And plus, it broke through a lot of supports. So this one just completely dumped almost $5. Came retested one of my favorite patterns again, VWAP, and then drop again. And I feel like shit, I missed this play, so I ended up chasing ELF. And then I didn't go full size because I was trying to give a little bit more room. I was aware that it was a 19 and $20 area mark. So I ended up going here. Once it didn't do what I was expecting, I ended up, covering here like at 20.03. Even though it pushed against me, it dropped. It passed my stop loss, but at the same time, it looked very weak. The volume was low, so I ended up taking like a loss on that one. The other one, DKS, I should have just waited on this, but again, I'm not feeling the market. I shorted right through when I was thinking it was going to crack through the VWAP. It did crack. Um, Let me see what was my entry. My entry was 26.63. It was here, so I was thinking, okay, this thing's gonna flush down to 26.30. Once it held the opening, it bounced, and then it was just kind of making higher push. I was like, just get me out. I'm not feeling the market, so I got out. I ended up pretty much going 1 for 4, but given that I guess I played GME very well, and I sized in on that one, I ended up pretty much with a scratch day. Honestly, I think it was just like a $4 or $5 loss for the day. But it's for me. I see it more as a personal growth and development. Before I will be chasing and forcing trades, even though when I'm feeling like crap. So I'm not doing that today. The S&P 500 seems to be dumping, but I'm done. I'm done. Time for me to focus on this hurricane. Anyways, best of luck to everyone, and hopefully I'll be able to trade next week, all next week. So talk to you guys later.